Hello everyone, welcome to Storming the Capital, Chapter 16. This is definitely a map. Right, Danny?
I like this map a lot more than you do.
Yes,
I have my issues with it. But I think that it offers a lot of side objectives that are very interesting. And you kind of want to do them relatively fast. Both because, like, there are scary reinforcements. Well, not the scariest, but they're kind of scary reinforcements to show up. And to a lesser extent, Douglas can serve as a time limit. He's cheesable.
I would say he does.
He's cheesable, right? I think he's pretty cheesable, and there's multiple ways in which you can make him not a time limit at all. But if you're either unfamiliar with the map or unable or unwilling to use those tactics, he can be sort of like the ticking time bomb of eventually this guy with a really hard-hitting silver axe is gonna come and ravel stomp me. So I've noticed you have a paladin deployed.
Yes.
Would you like to make that into 2 paladins? Because we got a special item.
I would.
We got a special item last map.
Absolutely love to. Let me do this quick setup because I will forget to.
Oh, sure. Sure.
That. And we'll barrier just because.
Yeah, staff rank. You know, at least get her closer to physic. God, I can't stand this shit in a physic base. That's so absurd.
It's
so absurd.
Well, we have this guy, this funny dude.
Wait. You can't promote him. He has 64 experience. That's the Donkey Kong 64 number.
Oh, that is. But if we promote him...
Is Trek the secret 6th member of the Kong family?
But if we promote him and get him to level 7, we can make his EXP in level 776.
Oh, that is true. That is actually a very good counterpoint.
I don't think I've ever promoted Trek before.
I really don't like this unit. Sometimes you use an underwhelming unit and, like, they kind of warm up to you. I haven't even used him, and just from secondhand using him, right? Like, watching you use him.
Yeah.
He feels worse to me. He feels worse to me than he did before. I'm sorry, any Trek fans out there. You're allowed to use him, you're allowed to like him, and if this playthrough shows anything, it's that even difficult games like FE6, you can beat with suboptimal teams. But I don't want to use him, and I probably never will now.
You have grown to dislike him through osmosis.
Bro gets doubled by bolting and also one-shot.
Meanwhile, look at this unit. Look at this guy go. I still can't believe we're allowed to have this.
I'm happy that we're allowed to have it.
I'm very happy we are. Now, I will be very upset if Cecilia gets... Oh, she actually didn't even get targeted.
Yeah, usually the status steps happen turn 1, right?
Yeah, I guess her...
Did he not reach?
I did pure water her, so I guess it put her res that high. Huh. That's very convenient.
What's her inventory? Yeah, she has a weapon.
Yeah,
because I know there's like a glitch where, like, if you don't have a weapon, they won't go for you.
Yeah, I know they don't like going for you if you don't have a weapon. Also, I have like 5 laser caliber tomes. I think I can afford to use one to not hit flyers.
Oh yeah, no, effective damage doesn't like, if something deals effective damage, it still deals damage.
Yes,
right?
It is still doing damage.
It's an extension of the point I raised about the rapier.
You just use it because it's
just
good.
Has higher might than fire and is almost as accurate. What's its accuracy?
It's
is
better
it 90
than
accuracy?
Thunder.
It's not 90, right?
I think it's 85. 85.
Yeah,
so it's 10 less than fire.
Yeah, it's like fire plus, right? Because it's less
fire?
accurate, but like not by so much, and it's 3 more might.
It's 3 more
Sometimes
might.
you appreciate the difference.
Plus, I only have 1 fire tome right now, so...
And you have it on Best Girl.
Yeah, I have it on her to help out with her accuracy a little bit. So I figured
I'm sure I sound like the biggest Lilina fangirl
definitely
out there
do.
because I keep Lilina propagandizing. I don't even use her that often. I just think she's like a severely underrated unit. Because people like tend to put her near the bottom of the tier list. Like I think I've used her in like 2 runs. I don't even use her that often. But she's good. Like
Yeah. She's pretty nice to have. I really want to do like a rescue chain to pull you forwards, but I think I might actually send you left.
the training we did last map is already paying dividends because she's already hitting like 20 damage with the fire tome.
Yes, and it's very much appreciated.
And she gets the accuracy boost from Roy as well. Basically for free because, you know, we didn't have to support grind for it. I just think it's nice. I think it's nice. Is it the best unit in the game? No, by a wide margin, no.
No.
But it's
super
like,
useful
you can
though.
do a lot worse.
Absolutely.
You can do a lot worse.
You could very easily.
Of the units who join in Chapter 8, she's either best or second best. Because, like, it depends on how much thief utility credit you give Astolfo. Basically.
Because he's basically doing stuff that Chad could also be doing.
Yeah, and, well, so in the Western Isles, Chad couldn't do his job, right? Like, if you want him just to do combat in the Western Isles.
That is true.
But Lilina also does combat in the Western... Like, it obviously not in this playthrough, but if you're using her, right? If you train her in 8X, on the stationary enemies that are kind of, like, there for her, then she does combat just as well, if not better, in the Western Isles, because she has perpetual 1-2 range, and he doesn't. And, like, Fire's natural accuracy, I think, makes up for the weapon triangle advantage Sword gets.
Yes.
Not to, like, he'll be more accurate than her, but she'll be accurate enough. It's like what we were talking about with Hawkeye on the last map, where, like, Hawkeye's 11 speed is a lot slower than Percival's, but it's fast enough for the enemies that he's facing.
It's fast enough to do what you need him to do.
And in the same instance, like, Lilina's Fire Tome is accurate enough against the shitty axe enemies in the Western Isles.
So we are going to be facing a crit chance, but...
It's turn 1?
Yeah, we're on, like, turn 2 or something right now.
Yeah. Turn 2. Either way, I think the crit chance is fine.
Fun song.
Do we want to talk about him?
Yeah, we'll talk about this guy. So, Hugh, he hasn't been paid yet. We can fix that problem, though. She even lives in crit.
Hugh's stats, if you just pay full price for him, are already pretty good. They're not worth the money in most instances.
If you just recruited this unit
good.
and got him for free, like this would be a really good unit.
Oh, for sure. Or if you're tiering without taking into account cost, like I don't see him anywhere lower than like B tier.
Yeah, he's a really good no investment unit, assuming
like high B, honestly.
He has like
free.
He has like pretty good magic and pretty good speed, so he kind of covers both. But yikes.
But the reason that I really wanted to talk about him, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to pull it up because previously you had sent me a message.
Oh, I know what you're looking for.
Where you said, if Hugh had hard mode bonuses.
Yes. Society of Hugh had hard mode bonuses. Maybe I'll throw them up on screen or something if I remember to.
If I can find the message in our DMs...
I actually have it saved to a clipboard. I can DM it to you real quick.
I can't find it. Okay,
I have it saved
I'll
for
read
reference.
it out loud then. That's so baller. Okay, if Hugh had hard mode bonuses,
here we go.
Then he would have, as a mage, not as a sage, this is before you can instant promotion promo bonuses him, 32 HP, 19 magic, 15 skill, 16 speed, 12 luck, 10 defense, 13 resistance.
Assuming I did the hard mode leveling
we
correct.
I did the rounding. I rounded up if they were 0.7 or higher.
Fair.
Because I think that for 0.5, like, I rounded down just to be, like, you know,
safe.
as ungenerous as possible. That's absurd.
Yes.
That's absurd.
I think I did the math, and that's the same magic as a 15-1 Lelina and the same speed as a 15-1 Lugh.
Now, I think that if he got hard mode bonuses, it would still be like, he'd probably be worse than both of them because of availability and also the recruitment cost.
Yeah, you're still paying 10,000 gold for this guy.
But Lelina and Lugh give you the option of, like, what's more important, hitting hard or doubling, right? And that's not in FE6, that's actually not a question that has a definitive answer. Because Lugh has pretty fucking low magic, but he doubles to make up for it, whereas Lelina is never doubling shit. But she has really bonkers magic to make up for it, right?
Exactly.
And I think they end up being, combat-wise, about the same as each other. Like, I think they are equally competent. The downside is Lelina joins a lot later.
Then you actually have to train her. Whereas, like,
yeah,
Lugh
you actually train
Lugh
her.
can be gaining levels throughout the maps that he's in.
Although, again, 8x is, like, kind of tailor-made for her.
Very true. It's very easy to feed her EXP there.
I think the biggest thing is the amount of time that she misses more than the training aspect, because, like, it's fair to penalize her a little bit for the fact that, like, she needs to be trained on that map, but no one else really wants that experience. Like, in 8x, is your 15-1 Elen really benefiting from killing, like, the fighters that are stationary? So, like, she's stealing experience from, like, Ogier. Whereas, like, you could argue, I'm not making this argument, because I don't think that you should, but you could argue that Lugh is stealing experience from more competent units, so actually it's more of a cost to train him. I think that that's flawed logic, and the reason I think that's flawed logic is that Lugh's contributing when he's training, right? Like, yes, he's stealing experience from better units like the Christmas Caps and Shanna, but also, when Lugh is killing units in chapters, like, 3 through 5, he's killing the units because you want them dead. If Lelina is killing a stationary fighter in 8x, she's killing them because you want experience on her, right?
It's because
So,
you're
like,
training her.
you could make the argument that, like, Lugh is fighting with units who want the experience more. I don't think it's a valid one. I put it out there as, like, a... I don't know.
Theoretical.
I guess to argue all sides of the two of them versus each other, whatever.
Yes.
Regardless, if Hugh got hard mode bonuses, he would ask the question, what's better, hitting hard, hitting fast, or both?
I just do both.
Which I think is based. Now, obviously, that's a theoretical world that we unfortunately don't live in.
No.
I love Hugh, because I used him in a ROM hack, Code of the Burger King, and he was like a fucking meme unit there.
I remember seeing him there. Doesn't he have that skill where he'll, like, he'll get a free red gem, like luck percent
Yeah, he
chance or
has
something?
despoil, so it's luck percent on kill to get a red gem. He breaks the economy. Suddenly, your goddess icons are actually worth more given to him, statistically, than they are sold, which is so fucking funny. He also has bargain, which is functionally the silver card.
Oh, that's
It
really
can't stack
funny.
with it, but it is like a replacement, because you do get a silver card late game, but
Built-in
if you
silver
train
card.
Hugh, if you train Hugh, he just gets silver card as bargain, and then you're like, oh, well, this really far out of the way chest in a difficult chapter that has the silver card in it. Yeah, I think I'll skip that one, actually.
Because I can just use Hugh.
Yeah. But in this game, different good game, Hugh is also in this game. I still think he's okay if you pay max gold for him, but
Yeah.
I don't think he's worth the max gold. I think if he got hard mode bonuses, he probably would be, like, worth the max gold, but you'd still, like, penalize him for it.
Yeah, it would still suck, but at least you're getting something really, really useful out of it. Oh, finally, this guy has sea swords.
Hey, now he's finally as good as,
Noah.
he's finally as good as Noah.
He finally promoted into a Noah.
He's only one rank away from Brave Sword now, right?
Woo! Yeah, the one that we definitely get later.
The FE6 Brave Sword.
Where FE6 Brave Sword? Where's this loser again? There he is.
So actually, the fact that we don't get an FE6 Gravesword is a reference to the fact that Corel is the canonical choice in the Corel versus Harkin. Because then Eliwood didn't have a Gravesword to pass down to Roy.
Very true.
I know another YouTuber who likes Corel more than Harkin.
Interesting.
Not necessarily as like a, cause she just likes the units based on how much she likes them, right? Not in terms of like wanting to like be hyper sweaty and optimize everything.
And honestly, that is
So
super
I don't know
fair
that
and
she
awesome.
necessarily like thinks that he's better, but she likes him more. She likes Swordmasters.
And honestly,
and
that's
honestly,
what matters.
Yeah, I think it's really based, and I'm glad someone likes him more because like I think most people don't, and I think it's because of like if you look at the units side by side and you're like, the fuck is this? But it just goes to show, you know, every Pokemon is someone's favorite, and Corel is this person's favorite. He's not a Pokemon, but the saying applies to Fire Emblem units, right?
Yeah, same thing.
Sophia is someone's favorite unit, you know. Trek is someone's favorite unit. So, look, if you are the only Trek fan in the world, more respect to you. If you're the only Trek fan in the world, that means you get all of him to yourself.
You get exclusive access to Trek.
Yeah, no one else is allowed to use him, actually. If you see someone else using Trek, fucking file a DMCA. Oh, wait, this is awkward, Jacob. I think we're using a unit we're not legally allowed to.
Oh god, oh no. I will fight
You
this.
should have given Trek the boots.
Oh yeah, boots. That's a really fun item. I wish I had a pair of those.
You should have given them to Trek. They would still... Look, I'm just saying, if you gave Trek the boots, they would still be alive today.
Very true. Rest in boots.
And now that I've said that, I hope Trek makes it to endgame so I can keep saying, like, if only our Trek had 10 moves. If only our Trek had 10 moves.
He would have lasted. He would have made it.
So should we address the elephant in the room regarding the awkward time we're going to be spinning the wheel?
Oh yeah. So I'm not really sure when I'm going to be spinning the wheel. It's not going to be at the very end of the map because this guy makes this map really difficult and awkward to hang around in. So I'm going to think of a time to spin it at some point, and whoever gets spun is just going to like kite Douglas all the way over here or something like that.
I thought, maybe I misunderstood you when you were talking earlier. I thought it was because you're buying a bunch of promotion items.
Oh, that too.
And
that
you don't
too.
want to buy a promotion item for someone who dies.
Yeah,
like
that
in the
too.
same way that you use the promotion items after, the secret shop has like every promotion item in it.
Yeah.
So like, the reason we have Rutger and Lilina deployed is they're units who we like.
Want to promote?
Oh, did you forget to put a bow on him?
No, I forgot you existed. I hate that bishop so much. Okay, we're back without putting Larum in range of the bishop. I like this idea a lot more.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely smarter not to kill off your dancer. Oh god, I said that. Now we're gonna kill off our dancer, aren't we?
Oh no. Ha! Weapon triangle. Ow.
She's not doubled, is she? Okay, good.
Okay, you said that and my heart sank for a sec, because that's actually a really good question.
Like, she's slow as shit, alright?
Okay,
not slow as Trek.
If he wasn't getting weighed down, she'd get doubled.
How much is he weighed down by?
2. Well,
That's
I get... Okay, so she's
actually hilarious.
She's 2 AS away from getting doubled. So
that's fucking tragic.
It's very funny.
So now we can't get him.
Don't worry.
He's not against the wall. What?
We're just gonna keep moving forwards.
We're
gonna heal her. See?
I'm concerned.
We'll be fine. He only has like what, 3 purge uses left? Ooh, nice level.
Yeah, but he one-shots Larum, right?
Yeah, he does. So we can just keep Larum,
So are
like...
we just leaving the dancer behind?
For a sec, yes.
don't.
The idea was I was going to put a juicy
forget-
target here, and he was going to go, oh, I want to one-shot this person. But he didn't take the bait.
Just don't forget that
Yeah,
there's another bolting mage on turn 11.
yeah, I feel like we have time for that, though.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Oh, I only have
It's
one
just
barrier.
a bit stressful.
A little bit. Oh, look at this. Clarine better than...
Physic Gaming?
Unpromoted Clarine better than Cecilia, confirmed.
I mean, Clarine is a very good unit.
She is.
I don't think people think she's bad, but I think she might be underrated just because, like...
Saul's the
She's
only
very
good staffer
good.
because he's the only one who gets warp on time.
I mean, like,
Hey,
so it's
fella.
not even just, like... I don't think that the warp on time is what makes Saul a better warper than Clarine. She has, like, no magic.
Yeah, she has no magic whatsoever.
But she has a horse? A mage?
I love this recruitment combo.
This is an unskippable recruitment combo too. Is the funny thing.
I'm yours
If
for
you want to get
10,000
if you want to
gold.
get the lowest price one, you literally have to spam through a
The whole
bunch
thing.
of dialogue.
I need the money for my grandmother. Is your grandmother sick or
She has
something?
headaches on her back.
Yeah, sick is a good way to
Sick is a
describe her.
good way to describe her.
Absolutely. The money's yours.
If your grandma's sick, it's a worthy cause.
She's so sick you don't even know. She gets these headaches on her back.
Headaches on her back. I love that back headaches.
You know what I mean. That's just one of her many symptoms, each worse than the last.
You know, there's another character in FE1 who scams you out of money in his conversations. Well, technically we only find out about it in FE11, but because he's an Arcanea character, we should name an archetype after him. Q is now the caster archetype. Fire Emblem Wiki approves.
Please, Sheeta, I need money. In the very next game, Sheeta, I need money for Mom, she's still sick.
No, it really do be like that though. It really do be the caster archetype. You don't even know. Also, I love the map sprite of the dragons. I know you meant to like turn his animations on and just forgot.
Just
But
dragon.
I do genuinely love the dragon map sprite.
It looks pretty
and
cool.
So I'm glad you didn't.
Dragon jump scare.
I'm going to pretend that I remembered and didn't remind you on purpose for that reason, when in reality I also forgot.
Your caliber.
But we can just pretend.
Yeah, I like pretending more.
Wait, why were you saying ooh air caliber? You can't get it. It's not like dropped. There's no dropped items in here.
If
Or did
only.
you just mean you were scared because of Shanna?
I was gonna leave Shanna with a javelin here to counter the mage, but I can't do that.
I mean, how much might is air caliber?
8.
She might be able to.
So that's
So it's
16
effectively
plus
24 might?
23. So it just takes 39.
No. It's 24 plus because it's 24 might.
Oh yeah, I was just adding 16 to his total attack.
Oh, that's a so much smarter way to do it than what I do.
I'll do it both ways sometimes, but yeah, if you add 16 to that, that's 39 attack.
39. What's her res?
So 31 she dies. I'm so used to Angel Rope Shanna. I'm so used to having an Angel Rope on her.
I'm so used to boots, Shanna. Where did your boots go? Too soon? I keep saying that.
If you ask
It's
me that in
not
the
gonna
final
stop
chapter,
me.
it'll be too soon.
You know, usually I give boots to. I mean, usually I save the desert boots for Corel. I'm curious as to why you didn't do that strategy.
Corel,
I'm just
my
saying,
beloved.
if you saved the boots for Corel, then you would. If you saved the desert boots for Corel, you would still have boots right now.
That is true. This is a very true statement. Here, Trek, have a little bit of res, because it worked for you so well in the Water Temple. Oh, right, Larm exists.
Does the Purge guy double him?
Surely not. 11 speed. Okay, he has 9 AS versus Trek's 12. Trek doesn't double the Purge guy, though, which is peak comedy.
I mean, peak comedy would be if he was doubled by the Purge guy and also
That would
one-shot
be.
through
That
pure
would
water.
be even funnier. Ooh, nice dodge.
Ooh. I love the female mage sprite.
Me too. I like the long hair.
I think it's really cute.
Because Nino's is pretty similar, but it has the shorter cut hair along with Lute's. But I like Lilina's with the really long hair.
I just think that, like, I mean, so it's obviously a child unit. It's always going to be a child unit because of the way the sprite looks.
Yeah.
And you know, there's you know, text to be spilled about like, oh my god, war crime, child soldier. I think people forget that these are like fantasy games, right? Like, there's no Geneva Conventions in fucking Elite. And most Fire Emblems are not like grimdark, right?
No.
So yes, it is like fucked up that Marth has a bunch of kids fighting for him, but like in the same way that like when you think about it, it's fucked up that Prince Charming kisses Snow White while she's asleep. Oh, look at me, I'm a very smart person. When you think about it, it's kind of fucked up that Simba, or that Mufasa is mean to Scar, and that's racism, because he's a darker-skinned lion. Oh, look at me, I'm very smart. Look at me, you know, I think that SpongeBob is actually hallucinating everyone. I'm very smart. It feels like in that flavor of things, right? Where it's like, I think that the idea is like you're supposed to take joy in the fact that like John is like this little British child and he's like, I'll heal you all, and he just murders everything, right? Like
the suspension
it's
of
funny.
disbelief.
Have a fucking sense of humor. It's not all like, oh my god, it's war crimes. We need to persecute Marth for war crimes.
Pew.
I don't know. It's funny to have like little gremlin Anna be like, stores in session.
Oh, I love
Cha-ching!
using Anna to kill things.
And smash people with the hammer. It's funny to be like, you know, Donald is little pot boy and he goes, oh boy, what if I lose? Ah! And then he just murders everyone.
Yes. I love doing stuff like that.
And in the more serious interpretations too, like, you can, if you don't want to embrace the silly, you can be like, oh damn, this really shows like just how desperate the war is, that like we can't even turn down like the help of children. That's so like serious. Like Erica has to rely on Ross. Oh my god. Like that's so grimdark and serious. Like if you want to do that, sure.
The
It
dark
still works that
reality
way.
of war.
Like it still works from a narrative perspective. In that case, this is not like, I don't know. There's no fucking Geneva Convention in Fire Emblem, and also there was no Geneva Convention in medieval times, right? Like there was no such thing as war crimes during like. Do you think that during the American War for Independence, they were like, wait, the Minutemen include some 16-year-olds? Excuse me, that's actually a war crime. Do you think, like, when the English and the French were fighting each other with, like, Joan of Arc or whatever, they're like, Joan of Arc, your leader, is 14 years old. Excuse me, that's actually a war crime. Like, fuck off. I don't know. I think people get so weird about the war crime stuff, and it bothers me.
Me too.
Because it's just silly. It's just silly.
There's like the long list of like overdone or overstated like Fire Emblem jokes or whatever, and that's one of mine. Is like the whole, oh, everyone's a child soldier or whatever, you know. They're
And
breaking.
like, don't get me wrong. Oh, what were you? Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna review pretty much most of what you said, and I'm like, okay, the game is kind of tailored towards like teenagers, young adults. Like you kind of have to have characters that your teenage audience will kind of look at and go, oh my gosh, Walt, he's so me.
Oh, especially nowadays that like every Fire Emblem character is supposed to be fuckable. We're like, if you're trying to appeal to a younger audience, a lot of the Fire Emblem characters, like, if you want them to romance people, you're gonna have them romance people around their age.
Yeah.
And so, if you're like, wait, Goldmary's a little bit too young to be a soldier, it's like, well, she's the same age as a lot of people who are playing the game. And, like, we're both older than the average Fire Emblem fan. But I also, you recognize that that's, it is often aimed at kids, right?
Yeah.
Or at least it's not exclusively aimed at adults. I also think, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not, like, this isn't trying to be, like, a call-out post for anyone in particular, and I do genuinely think that, like, there are some very funny videos that's, like, listing every war crime committed in Fire Emblem Game X, and they get, like, needlessly in-depth about, like, according to the Geneva Convention, actually wearing disguises is the... And I'm like, okay, that's funny because you're clearly not taking it seriously,
It's satire.
Right? But there are other, like... you'll have a conversation with someone on, like, Discord or Twitter or whatever, and they'll be like, we should really talk about how problematic it is that fucking Marth just, like, conscripts Donald. I mean, it's not even the right game, but, it would be kind of problematic if Marth conscripted Donald, because, like, I think if you're an unborn child of 1,000 years in the future, maybe you're too young for war. Okay, that's where I'll draw the line. Marth cannot recruit fetuses from 10,000 years in the future.
Okay, I think we can agree on that one.
To his army. But, like, I don't know, the idea that, like, it's immoral to enjoy using, like, Ross because he's a child soldier. But I don't know. No. Fuck off, it's a video game, I don't know.
This looks fine.
That's like saying, like, it feels, okay. It feels like on the same level as, the people, or the, like, PETA, when PETA was like, Mario's doing animal abuse because he stomps on Koopas.
I think I remember hearing about that.
It feels like that. No, PETA made, like, a game called, like, Animal Abuse Mario or whatever. They made one for Pokemon and Super Meat Boy 2. PETA's video games are all awful.
Big shock.
And, like, look, I'm a vegetarian. I'm big into animal rights and stuff. PETA's actually a horrible organization. If you didn't know, they're, like, fucking terrorists. PETA, on multiple occasions, has bought out and, like, adopted an entire no-kill shelter and then murdered the animals because they think that domestic cats and dogs are unnatural.
Huh.
So, like, fuck PETA. But also, they make really shit video games. So, like, my point in bringing up that is don't feel bad about making fun of PETA. They're not actually a charity. They're, like, garbage. So if you want to make fun of them for the fact that they, like, make the stupid, like, Mario jumps on turtles, that's animal abuse. But that level of argument is what I feel like the, like, Ross is immoral, can't have a child soldier. If you enjoy training Amelia to 2020, you're a war criminal. Speaking of Amelia, that was an Amelia-ass combat right there.
Yeah. This guy's
I saw
actually
0 times 2. Why are we frontlining with Roy?
Because I want to get into the seize point. So we're just gonna body block a little bit.
One thing that I do sometimes to cheese Douglas is if you have him go, you see how, like, this hallway goes all the way back down to where that bolting mage is? You can have him, like, up in this loop corner and basically keep running a mountain unit back and forth so that he runs back and forth every time. Like, if you have his closest person be on the left, he'll go down. But then if you move a mounted unit up, so his closest unit is now on the right, go up. And you can just devote 2 units to, like, keeping him busy the entire time. And suddenly you're no longer, like, on a timer. Jesus Christ,
he dies to bolting now. I didn't think about that. He dies to purge now.
Why is Trek so bad?
I did not think
about that. Why is Trek so bad? It's okay, he'll simply dodge.
Just
Look,
dodge?
if he dodges, it's proof that, we're allowed to use child soldiers.
Dang.
Oh, damn. Trek says Ross is immoral.
Even in the darkness, there is...
There is
completely
what,
forgot
Trek?
about
There's
him.
what? Finish your sentence.
You wanna know what was really sad about that? That was the last
His
one.
last use, right? Yeah.
I completely
so
forgot he
tragic.
existed. Brain focused on too many things. Ah. Okay, Danny. I have a really funny idea that steals a bit from your idea. We're gonna use the warp
Are
staff.
we warping? Or we could use the warp staff.
Yeah, we could use the warp staff.
That's not who I thought it would be. If I'm being perfectly honest.
We warping.
Why are we warping her? I mean, I have definitely put him to sleep before, but usually not like this.
Go sleepy.
Oh my god. You had me so fucking nervous. Oh my god.
It worked. Go sleepy, Doug.
I've put him to sleep before, but usually it's like from a distance and with higher than 51 hit rate. Because Clarine's magic is so low.
Yeah, it's only 7.
Holy mackerel. And I'm pretty sure staff accuracy has something to do with both magic and distance, right?
It's your magic versus their res that includes distance. It's a
So, like,
it's a bizarrely
usually I'm using,
complicated
like-
formula.
Usually I'm using someone with an actually competent magic stat.
To status people. The
You
one
know,
range
like
status.
Saul or...
So
I mean, if I'm getting really spicy, like Lugh, although he doesn't really have a competent magic stat. I guess Lolina.
I like how that means you got Lugh up to B stabs, which is super cool.
I mean,
I had Warp Sophia once. I'm one to talk.
I was gonna say, like, if we're not playing for turns, there's a lot
for
of fun
funs.
stuff you can do.
You have a Rider's Bane, right? Nope, you don't.
No, I don't. But thank you for asking.
Every single time.
Well, and now I can alternate between that joke and being like, no, he only has animatomes, Jacob.
Duh. Okay, we're gonna let the Purge guy live for now, because I'm
Are you
pretty sure I can
about that? That's worked out super well in the past.
get 25
Sounds
attack.
like a great idea.
Does not kill him. So we just let him sleepy for a sec.
Sleepy little snooze bear.
25 attack. You take 18. That leaves you at 19. That goes down by 5 technically. So 20, you live.
Make sure no one can get doubled by him.
That is true. Although, let's see, 9 AS.
I gas-lamped you, didn't I? He has one use on his Purge Tome. I'll save you time.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I gas-lamped you so hard right there.
You did. You really got me with that one. What's upsetting is because of the way Siege Tomes work in this game, it's so believable that someone could get doubled by a Siege Tome.
I mean, we've seen it happen is the thing.
We did see it happen.
The thing is, you can't get doubled by a one, at least to my knowledge, you can't get doubled by a one-use Siege Tome. Imagine if, like, it allowed you to double. I mean, I guess if you missed the first time, no, because magic.
Yeah, magic always
isn't it?
consumes the use. Because that would be
But you could
absolutely-
double with a one-use, like, bow or something.
Yes, and that actually throws me off sometimes because I'll look at the forecast forgetting that I'm using a one-use weapon, and I'll see, oh man, I don't double this guy. and then it'll finally click that, oh, it's because I have a one-use weapon equipped.
Yeah, that's happened to me before as well. I think it's even worse if you do it in like FE4 or 5, where it doesn't show you the doubling, it just shows you like the AS difference.
Oh yeah.
And so you do the math yourself, and you're like, oh, fuck yeah, I double and kill, and then you
just don't.
I think that's the worst option. Obviously, neither of them are great though. So we've made it through the Purge Bishop.
Yes.
Basically. Because you've done the math, right? No one who's in range can die?
Yeah, all I gotta do is just heal with you first. Or heal you first.
Me? Well, aren't
Every
I the
single
prettiest
time.
little gal of the ball? So, again, to tempt fate, who would you most and least like the wheel to land upon?
I'd be very sad if Milady got picked. The unit I least care about dying, I'm gonna be honest, is like Checker Zealot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's one of the paladins, and I think we both know which one it is. You don't have to say it. You don't have to say it. We both know. Does Trek even have better stats than Zealot at this point? I don't think
Barely. I think
Oh,
he has,
really?
he has a little bit of speed and strength, I think, but everything else he's either tied with or Jarrett trumps him in. Twang.
That's
Like,
so tragic.
It's very upsetting, like how on par with Jarrett he is right now. And I had to train this loser.
I think a Stolfo might be a good death candidate. It would suck not to have him
Potentially, yeah.
for, like, Ilya Castle, for example.
I'd like to have him for the Ilya Fog of War at least.
True, the Fog of War is a real thing.
I'd really like to have him for
Fog of
Ilya
War
Fog
moments.
of War.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I forgot how detailed
think
the
that-
bishop's outfit is.
I think that Zealot and Trek are probably number 1. Number 2 is Astolfo.
Yeah. He just kind of doesn't have much left going for him at this point.
I mean, like, if we're being honest, the real number 1 is Wolt, but
He's
we don't want that to happen.
he's important.
Actually, is Wolt doing better combat? Is Wolt doing better combat than the Paladins?
I should check. Oh, keep in mind that
I'm
Wolt
afraid
has
to
like
ask.
Wolt has like 10 speed.
Yeah, but he needs the Brave Bow.
True. Wolt has 13 strength, 10 speed. 13 strength, 10 speed. 13 strength, 10 speed. So he's like strength and speed swaps with Jarrett.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I think they're doing better combat than him, but like just barely.
Barely. Speaking of better combat, oh,
Neither of them can use the Brave Axe, right?
nah. Even then, the Brave Axe is really inaccurate.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
was
still
trying to
something.
figure out, like, you could argue access to the Brave Bow is better combat in some situations. In the same way that, like, when Rutger joins, I think Marcus still has better combat because of access to the Silver Lance, even if you're not using it for every combat.
Yeah.
Like, you're also not using the Killing Edge for every combat, right? You have access to the best combat.
Okay, I think we
And you could argue that he has access to Brave Bow. I mean, you don't argue it. He does have access to Brave Bow, but you could argue
Yeah.
that that makes him better. What turn number are we on, by the way?
8.
So, reinforcements start in turn 11, and it's 13 and 15. And then the bolting guy appears on turn 12?
Okay, on the bright side, Laram's about to be way out of range of him, so I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah. But juggling those 2 siege tomes is like a little scary, sketchy.
At least, like, once I'm away from this
Especially
guy,
if you do the thing
because he can only reach, like,
that
here.
Yeah. If you do the thing that I often do, where you go up to get Hugh and then go back down to lure Douglas the wrong way, then the second bolting guy gets scary.
I could see that,
Because
definitely.
I usually have Douglas wait in the front yard.
I kind of thought about trying to do something like that, but I didn't for some reason.
Because I'll have Douglas in the front yard, right? And I'll have a Cavalier on the left and right sides and have him, like, run back and forth by
Trying to
having the
decide who's the better
Cavaliers, like,
target.
farther and closer because they outrange him.
I'm suddenly completely blanking. Where do you get the Brave Lance? You get a Brave Lance, right? It's just the Brave Sword you don't get, right?
You don't get a Brave Sword, you do get a Brave Lance. It's from a chest. I mean, it would have to be from a chest.
It might be in Ilia
because
Castle, actually.
It's not in anyone's starting inventory. And those are the only two ways you get new items.
Wait, where's my chest key?
Let's check.
Okay, she has it.
Do you want me to tell you what's in every chest, by the way? Because you said you might need to ditch them.
Potentially, yeah.
You get the Brave Lance on this map.
Oh!
It's in the same treasure room that the Manicate's in. You see those chests?
Okay.
So if you count from the top, 1, 2, 3, it's the third one down.
Gotcha.
So that's where the
So I
Brave
definitely want
Lance is.
this.
I can tell you in order what's in every chest, actually, in that room. So, 1 is 5,000 coins.
Okay.
2, bolting.
Okay.
3, Brave Lance. 4th, Restore Staff. And 5th, Mend.
Okay,
And then if you want to go to the other treasure
these
room, I can do it
three I
also in
really
order.
want.
And
what's
then
in
over
these?
here, 1,
I know there's promo items.
Oh,
I know there's
I
a Hero
don't
Crest and
know.
Knight Crest.
So, it says number 1 on WD. It says Berserker / Barbarian.
Oh, there's a Berserk Staff.
Is that a Berserk Staff?
It's a Berserk Staff.
Yeah. Okay. Then 2 Hero Crests, 2 Knight Crests, 3 Hero Crests, 4 Silver Bow, and 5 Rescue Staff.
Okay, so I definitely want the 2 Crest. I really want Rescue. And I really want Berserk, because you can do some funny stuff with that in 21. Silverbow is really good too. So if I'm going to leave something behind, it's going to be these 2 chests.
Yeah, I think
Restore
Mend
and
and
Mend is
Restore
not-
are kind of low value.
So if I need to dip early, I won't be afraid to leave those behind.
But you probably don't need to dip early.
Nah.
If we can keep Douglas doing like the Douglas Mambo, right?
Yeah, he's just going to be sleepy now. Because I get 5
and then
whole turns
eventually you
with
can
sleep.
like lure him the wrong way.
Yeah.
I've seen some people say like lure him into the chest room and then trap him with Larum, and I think that's funny, but less practical because then you can't get into the treasure room.
Yeah, you can't actually get into the chest then.
Oh, you know, I love you too in Dragon.
That's Dragon for I love you. Peak writing.
I think that the writing in Fates is almost as good as the writing in Legend of John.
You can stop running too.
Yeah, he can sort of bait Douglas to the outside. Holy mackerel. Now, I'm
Rider's Bane is so terrifying in this
99%
game.
certain. I'm 99% certain the Manakete does not move. But, like, I've been burned before.
I know. Every time I play this game, I go, okay, he doesn't move. He doesn't move. And then I always play as if he does move. Like, no matter how hard I tell myself that he does not move, I always play under the assumption he moves.
And there's no wiki with reliable information about who doesn't move.
Yeah.
Like, there's also some sort of...
Whoa.
Right?
Coming through a little...
Oh no.
The connection suddenly got really bad.
We were streaming earlier, but we're not anymore. In my location on.
Interesting.
Better now, or am I still robot form?
Still a little robot-y. Interesting, it was just working a second ago.
That's what you get for living in a society where the internet companies are allowed to have monopolies. Political.
I could at least make out what that was.
If I wanted to be a troll, because you said the words make out. Pretend that you were saying you wanted to make out with one of these characters, like Trek. I think Trek would probably be the one who's most embarrassing to. Oh my god! Nah, he's absolutely the most embarrassing makeout target. Sorry, Trek, you don't get any kisses anymore. What's that? 100% accuracy? Shin, my
Yeah,
beloved.
what on earth? Look at this guy.
Did
Also-
you? Am I better now, or did you need to take a break so
Oh,
that
yeah.
I'm not robot-y?
It actually started coming through just fine the moment we started talking about making out with Trek.
Oh, awesome! That means that that's the cure.
Like, of all times it started working, it was right as you were talking about Trek. It was suddenly like, you know what? I'm actually gonna let the volume come through.
You know what? That shows that he's good for something.
Finally a use for
Our
Trek.
internet. Finally a use for Trek. We've reinvented the meta.
We
New
busted out the
meta
calculator
strategy.
again.
New meta strategy. Make out with Trek to fix your internet. How does this affect the tier list?
Okay, cool. That's all we'll do. So, Astor,
Ooh, what are we
open
doing?
the door. You might be thinking, oh, Jeebs, she's gonna take damage from the mages. Fear not. She has a drink.
Glug, 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 glug.
Although I don't think you drink the holy water. I think in a village in Sacred Stones, or in one of the GBA games, they say, oh, sprinkle this holy water on you and suddenly you resist magic.
Do you think Gonzalez drinks it, though?
Probably.
He just doesn't realize. Eat book, drink water.
God, I love Gonzalez so much. He's such a nice character. He's so
He's
sweet.
a nice little scrunkly. His starting inventory tells a cute story, too. You know, how he doesn't want to hurt anyone.
Uh-huh.
So, he goes out, and what's the only weapon he has? The devil axe.
The devil axe.
Because he'd rather hurt himself than someone else.
That's so sweet.
Alternatively, I have heard the theory that him having a devil axe and no healing item is meant to show that the people he's working for don't care about his health. And I think that works too, but
Yeah.
I personally I like my interpretation better of like, he's using the devil axe because there's a chance that it'll backfire and he'd rather hurt himself than hurt some innocent villager. I just think that's so sweet.
I like that. Poor guy. So
I
much
also like.
damage.
Have you heard the theory that Gonzalez designed his A and B route versions?
Really?
So the theory is, I don't think this is a serious theory. I think it's like just a joke.
Yeah.
But the theory is that he was like, someone told Gonzalez like, hey, you know, higher level units are usually better than lower level ones. So he was like, I'll give myself a higher level then, and didn't change anything else. I imagine Gonzalez speaks like a Muppet. Oh, he's saying I love you to Hugh. That's Dragon for I love you.
He's so
I will
sweet.
never stop making that joke.
Because it's funny.
For those who don't know, for those who haven't read Peak Writing, in Fire Emblem Fates, when you do Kana's paralogue, he or she will go up to Corrin and go, "Rawr, rawr, that's Dragon for I love you."
It
And
is
it's
amazing.
it's peak.
Now get this
If
dude
you,
out of the way.
if you haven't read the Fire Emblem Fates story, do yourself a favor and read it because
Please.
it's not good, but it is peak.
It's funny. Q level up. I paid for this.
I'm pretty sure he's telling you that you should instant promote him. He's pretty sure he's telling you it was not worth the training there.
I paid for this loser.
Well, but Jacob, he basically just got a point of defense and resistance at
Oh
the
my
same
gosh,
time.
please no.
You don't understand, Jacob.
I don't have
He
the-
got a point of defense and resistance at the same time.
I don't have the mental capacity to deal with that right now. Okay, Roy, you need to like make sure you're close to this guy so you can like kill him or something.
You can Z's the throne.
Zeus the throne.
Speaking of which, are you going to Z's the Z's?
Eventually. Oh, it's 100 HP wall. Oh my gosh, I forgot. All my member cards all the way
That's
over
what
here.
the Brave Axe would have been good for, actually. Because I assume it's in Convoy, right?
It's turn 11, right? Is whenever the reinforcements show up?
Yeah, starting turn 11.
That's yucky. Still have one more turn.
I mean, you could staircase block at least one of them.
Yeah.
You know who's, like, surprisingly scary?
Who is?